ever since that flight, I've been here for 7 years now, married to an American. So
Yeah, so you're fully transitioned
you're
over.
I'm like,
I mean, UK who at this point?
Brexit, that ain't me.
You're losing
I'm
your
not part of
accent
that.
like slowly.
I am. People think I sound Aussie now because I lived in Texas for so long. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely started late. I always like look back and think, what if I started at like 18? Fucking frying.
Because you were 24, right? When it was your first year into
and
it.
like 24 now, even people think like, oh, he's
Yeah, you're getting older
a
because
little
there's so many Zoomers now. Like Zekin, you're 18 now, right? Or you're still 17?
Yeah.
So like, dude, we got like, I mean, I think every team needs a Zoomer. So what about teams you played for? Like, what are the teams, the pro teams that you've been on, and in order if you can?
Well, I haven't played for many, to be honest. I played for Complexity. I had a few offers in between that, but like, I'm kind of a guy that likes to stick around and be
Set up base.
Try and make it, try and make it good. But that just never happened with Complexity. It just didn't work out.
No good on the management back then. And what year was this?
This was like, I think I started 2014 or 15.
Okay, so it was like early. Now Complexity, because I know Complexity now is like insane.
So Complexity had like no money before, so like
no investment.
Players
They have
from the bottom of the barrel for a lot of players, and then they got the Cowboys deal, and then obviously that changes.
Yes, they are.
It's still like
decked
management.
out.
It was still like management heavy, and like it's hard to build a team if it's decided by people that actually don't play the game. So.
Yeah.
I actually think it's like a lot better, or like when stuff succeeds a lot, like in a team, I think it's like a lot better when rather the org is the team, but it's more of like the team builds itself and the org is supporting the players. At least like from like a standpoint like how I felt with like Sentinels compared to other teams I played with. I really like that direction.
100%.
Speaking of you on Complexity, I always remembered playing against you in so many qualifiers, and every single time I met Complexity, it's like, fuck, we're gonna lose. like
They're
every
in your
single
head?
time we like get close to like making like something at the closed qualifier, we play Complexity. I'm just like,
It's like
GG.
Yeah, they're in your head
Yeah.
rent free.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was you were the gatekeepers.
Touching on that point a little bit, so you guys think it's better to have the org making decisions on the roster, or is it better to be player run? Like,
It's like sensitive for
Yeah.
Sentinels a little bit, but
The spa is open. Open for you to stand out. Open for you to find new experiences. Open for you to reconnect. Open for you to find what makes you a little more you. We are spabreaks.com, and we're open to everybody.
Do you love Gantt charts? Here's how easily replace them all. ClickUp.
I think like your coach has to be like the main guy
Mhm.
making a lot of decisions, and GM obviously if you have the GM coach relationship, but I think you coach and then it kind of branches down.
so the coach should have like pretty much a lot of control.
I think coach and like analysts work together, and
Yeah.
then down to IGL and then down again. Like, I think that's the best way to make a functioning team.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like, let's say one day, I'm on the team and I'm like, I go to the guys and I think Tens has to go. And then I told the team Tens has to go, right?
Yeah.
And then let's say the team agrees with me, and like all the teammates agree with me, let's say, and then the question is like, can we actually get rid of him? Like, will the org listen to us here, or is it like the org will be like, no, you guys have to do it? Like, is that okay to be that way? Like, I feel like that's kind of messed up if the org has full power at that point, or the coach is like, no,
Yeah, I
The
think
coach
if you're-
goes back to the org and they're like, no, you can't do this.
I think if you're a good and close team, like if you're a close team, people realize like when you can't, or when you're getting caught, or you can feel it, right?
You feel it coming?
I guess like
I think so too.
There's a moment where you're just like this
Like
ain't
it's
working.
like there's like a little subtle distance.
Yeah.
Created,
Yeah,
which is
obviously.
kind of yeah, you can feel it as a player.
And that's organic, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's like why like even like great teams will disband at like a point, or like players will change just because like the magic like that was there, like sometimes it'll just fade, or like you have a formula, but like suddenly like the formula like, doesn't work the same anymore. And like when that time comes, like definitely you can feel it in the environment, and just like it feels like kind of dead, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like we need like something to revitalize this team, and that's why some people normally try to like just go for change.
Yeah, and also it's sometimes like better to sometimes talk it out and make that change, and that's a common theme in NA where it's just like you lose an event, like you're gonna cut a player, like the next man just bombed out in the finals versus 100 so let's see who they replace. Typical NA fashion.
Yeah, but they just made a weird decision of like, I know it's like you can experiment obviously end of year, but yeah, it's like
That's a troll, right?
he's,
Is it?
That was a troll.
You think so?
99%
well, how is that a troll? He's sitting in the middle. He's doing most of the talking.
I actually can't.
I think
tell.
they have him in the middle because they're trying to go for that simple-esque, like they want to have our star player in the center, like this is our guy, and then there's no way we're having him IGL because we're just too ridiculous. Also, it's kind of like we went to this event, and then right after that event, the entire game has changed, and now you're just like low confidence a little bit. I feel like it would have been better to just. I mean, I don't know if you take a break or what you do. I mean, if they already have their roster, like you guys can't play because obviously we're working on visas for a couple of our guys, but would it have been smarter for them to not actually just go to that event? Like, should they have stayed home?
No.
You think going to it was fine?
I think getting that match experience, like even if they're like losing,
Yeah.
it's whatever. Just getting like the first land jitters. Out of
They got finals too, right?
Yeah, like they've played good apart from the finals, but like
Yeah.
just getting like meshing. It's important to get that experience.
Yeah, just being in that environment, high pressure.
I think like when you have a core and you're like replacing a few players, then like going to an event like that's like completely fine because people have seen like what your general game plan is, like how your team functions to a degree, and it's a lot easier to like slot in players into like certain roles and stuff like that. But I think when you're like rebuilding a team from ground up and people really don't know what to expect, you really have that like surprise factor in your favor.
Yeah.
And so I think that's probably like
What they lost, you're kind of saying like they lost the surprise factor because they have new players.
Well, I'm saying like for like our team in particular, like I think like when we're going into the franchise league, like a lot of people are not going to know how we're going to play because it's a brand new team. Like sure we have like kind of like
components of like ideas of like mix, but
we have like a slight exec core, but ideally it's like
it's an advantage.
we have like a loud core too, so it's
Yeah,
really like a
I think
mixture
it's
of
an
ideas.
advantage.
Yeah, so I would say it's advantageous to us.
Yeah, I think it goes both ways. Like you said, LAN experience, and then also just like you guys have the surprise factor. Like when you guys come to franchise league or go to Brazil, it's like we don't know what to expect from these guys.
Brazil's going to be like a really cool tournament, but kind of doesn't mean a lot to the rest of the year. You want to make, you obviously.
What is the theme behind Brazil? What happens?
It is just like introduction to all the teams that
start the circuit.
Yeah, and but like the big tournaments at the end of the year, the champs and stuff like that's all through the league and the weekly play. So
Yeah. Well, and what's the prize pool of Brazil? Do you guys know?
no, I don't think they've released
Is there a
I
prize
don't
pool?
know. There is a prize pool, but I don't know.
Oh, it's not out there yet.
that. Sure, they might do like cool skins again.
Yeah.
For like the kickoff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
I wonder if they're gonna do like similar to like League of Legends. They have like team icons and stuff. I think that'd be pretty cool.
I don't know how much I can leak, but I've heard some conversations about that.
Oh, team stuff like a buddy
Or like a
something?
Sentinel's buddy. Like
I
that'd be
saw some
pretty cool.
slide
Oh my
shows and
God.
stuff, so
That stuff would sell like crazy, like candy.
Yeah.
Or even just like what about like the actual on the agent, like a little logo?
I don't
Like a
really.
patch.
I don't really think that they'll ever do like cosmetic stuff for agents.
I wish you could change your outfit like,
Riot
on the
wants
chat.
to
Like,
Yeah, I mean it would
That
be
would be
cool.
nuts.
It would
They
be
wanna make
cool.
an extra like 5 million. That's what they're
yeah. Once the
I don't think they're struggling for money right
They're
now.
probably
They're not.
No, they're chilling.
yeah. So lands are coming up. That's gonna be exciting. Is there any land stories in particular that you guys would share? Like whether it's a funny experience or something random that happens, or interacting with a fan that poked you the wrong way. I don't know. You guys got
Want to tell the Mac one?
who's Mac?
Mac was the coach for LG,
Okay.
and we were playing Luminosity on the stage. This is like, I don't really care too much about it.
This is in CS:GO.
Yeah.
You are done. Bury the excess costs of airport parking. Pre-book and save up to 70%. Holiday extras. Less hassle. More holiday.
No, this was in.
Oh, this is
was
Valorant.
yeah,
Okay.
so
wait, I remember you guys. I remember Mac. How could I forget?
they
Now I
were,
remember.
they were tweeting about it and stuff, but I mean, mean, it's not a big deal. Like the older guys, especially, they used to like the shit talk and doing the screaming and stuff. But
Right.
we had some we had young players. Like, I think it was Matt's first LAN. I think it was.
No, that was Bryce.
Oh, Bryce, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. So Brendan was on the edge, and Mac was just screaming.
The coach
like,
of the other team.
Yeah, I mean, not just like loud. He was like screaming, and it was like obscenity.
We can pull up the clips if it's possible, but
You could
The
hear,
clips were.
you know how you have like the in-ears and the noise canceling headphones, like the white noise. You could hear him through that.
yeah. So
Damn.
yeah, because they have it cranked up where you're not supposed to hear anything outside of your headset. But this guy, he found the way to get through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we lost map 1, and as we were walking off the stage, he was like, "You guys are fucking shit online," and we were like,
Holy shit! And he's not even playing, bro.
"Yeah."
He's feeling himself.
He was feeling himself, and like we would just like go on a huddle outside. We're like, okay, we regret that.
Some mental warfare.
And then
Yeah,
we went
it
on
is,
to win
actually.
We went on to win 2-1, and Brendan was like shit talking about it.
It didn't work out then, right? What do you guys think about that? You think you can get in your opponent's head like that?
I don't think it affected us at all.
Younger players should be affected more so, I would say, right? But maybe not.
No, I don't think it affected me. I think Brendan thought it was pretty funny.
Brendan
Started
was-
laughing.
Yeah,
That's
Brendan
great.
was
The part that I like the best is like, cause my mom, that was her first like big event that she came to, and
Oh,
she
she
was sitting
saw.
behind us.
Oh my
And
gosh.
So we win.
Your mom was about to beat her ass. Beat his ass.
She comes up and she hugs me and she's like, "That guy scared me. I don't like it."
He's like, me too.
But I mean, if you go to an event like 10 years ago, both teams would be doing that across from each other.
Yeah, like on the local,
Like,
and
they
your
would
and your
be
PCs would be right next to each other. You could slap his monitor
Yeah,
too.
you'd be like, "You want to go outside right now?" Like,
Yeah.
start fighting and shit.
Yeah, I think it's viable. I think there's a certain degree. I think he definitely maybe overboarded a bit, and he's probably realizing that too. Can people get in your head, Ten? If they start yelling, does it affect you?
Honestly, I find it really funny.
You find it funny? that
I
they're
find
yelling
it funny
at
if someone's like shit talking and yelling, cause like I'm just thinking about like if like when we win, like look at the comments you're gonna get.
you? Yes, that's the.
I just find it like hilarious.
That's the side of it, right? When you are that person that's yelling, then like if you do lose, you kind of look stupid, right?
Yeah, I kind of have a question for you.
Okay.
Just because you played with so you obviously played in Brazil in Team 2 mixed team.
Mhm.
Like, what were the positives and the negatives of that? Was like we really count.
Oh yeah. Well, it was a very interesting experience. I think it was definitely a lot of learning into because it was obviously like me and Stu as the 2 Americans, and then we had the 3 Brazilians on the roster. Those guys in CS were like, kind of like movie stars. Like they're like very well known, and they had very high expectations too because they were like the previous world champs, and we were coming into a team that was expected to be built to win.
Yeah.
So I think they were there. The thing is that I think they did a good job at making it inclusive. Like our manager Ricardo, for example, like he would always make sure that, and I think that's an important part of it, is that like it wasn't like them and us. It was like all of us together, and we would always do everything together. Like we'd always be as a team, and like the environment and the culture didn't play that big of a factor, even though they were like so different in their own ways, right? Just how they did things. But they made an effort to like include us in the bigger picture. So I think that went a long way, and that's something that I would recommend to you guys as well. 'Cause we got the
I think with like
Brazilians.
team cohesion, like it'll work really well if like the team becomes like friends inevitably because you'll just like trust each other more and you'll know to like what to expect of each other.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
I always say like personalities kill teams quicker than skill does, and it's
100%.
so true. Like personality is just like some personalities can rub people the wrong way, and then if it's not addressed, we have this culture on exit where we're gonna introduce it to the team too. Like if you get something to say, just say it. We have like powwows at the end of the week where if you do want to go hard on someone and they piss you off, like you can say it out loud, and just like that, just doing stuff like that is just so important.
Being open about it, right? Like, is it better to hold it in, or
people bottle it
I don't
up
think so.
and they get angry and then they fester it. But we encourage like, dude, just shoot your shit. If someone's having a problem,
Stop fucking solo pushing me.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like a general advice to just like life in general, or like
Yeah.
even like relationships. Just like
Yeah.
communication is key. Don't let your like emotions like bottle up. Like if you really have something on your mind and you're letting it like kind of simmer,
Yes.
that's probably not like the best. Like you want to like definitely vent out like what's bothering you and see if there's like solution to it.
Yeah, the longer you hold on to it, the worse it's gonna get. And I think an important part of that is the delivery, right? Like, and how you address the person. I don't think you can just, if you go the wrong way about it, then they might take it the wrong way when you're not trying to. Like, if it's like, yo, stop fucking doing this shit, you're fucking pissing me off. Like, I'm
People
gonna
say that
fucking beat
about
the
me,
shit out of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people say that about me. Like, some of is like your tone. You're like
Yeah.
tone and delivery. Like that's one of my main weaknesses really. When really what I'm saying in my head sounds better. Than
Yes,
comes out
that's
my
the
mouth.
hard part too.
Yeah.
That's also something to touch on with the Brazilians too. Like communication is different because they approach things differently. And they're more blunt for sure.
Oh yeah.
Like Fallen will just straight up tell me, "Yo, this is shit. Don't ever do that again."
Yeah.
Like, and then I'm like, "All right, you're my daddy. Like, it's fine. I got you. You know, you don't want me to do it. I'm not doing it. I'll do exactly what you want." So I think it's also just everyone being open-minded about it. And I think Sasi and Mercado, from what I've heard and from speaking to them as well, they're like very like excited. One, which is I think is going to be awesome for everybody because excitement will just build into something greater. And then two, they're also like open-minded. Like I don't know how much you guys have spoken to them or how much you played with them up to this point, but what's your take on it? Like, is it going to be a good situation?
I was just gonna add on what you said about Fallen. That's
Mhm.
what Saucy did to me. Like one of our first team meetings, he was like, "Yo, Zekin, I've seen some of your streams, man. Yo, stop pushing through smokes."
Yeah, he's showing your
Yeah,
ass.
just
He's showing your ass.
I think what's interesting too is we have two Brazilians coming into it, NA core pretty much, so NA coach and then NA players. Yeah. And you had that difference of being
Yes,
joining
the
a
opposite.
Brazilian core,
True.
Brazilian coach. So I think like it would be a slightly softer landing for sure.
Yeah, I think so. I think you guys are a good group of people, so it's gonna be fine regardless. But touching on that a little bit, I mean, we're going to Brazil with the Brazilians, so like, and we have like, we're the most popular Valorant team in the world. So I feel like it's about to implode out there. I've got a small Brazilian fan base too. Those guys love me. As an honorary Brazilian playing with the boys in CS. Are you guys excited for Brazil? Like, what do you guys think about that? Is that gonna be wild?
I think that would be the craziest tournament I've been to personally.
Yeah. That'll be my first Valorant LAN with a crowd.
Yeah.
All the Valorant LANs I played, they had no crowd.
Only been one, right?
Yeah.
Turkey.
Yeah.
It's only been Turkey.
Of course.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I
you never
only
been
I
to
only
a LAN with a crowd,
experienced.
you're saying?
Oh no, I did it once in CS before, but I think the atmosphere, like when we were playing at LAN in like Iceland, Berlin, stuff like that, it felt kind of like online still, just
Mhm.
because there's no like there's no like crowd like watching everything. Like you don't hear like the reaction of
Like a
it's just
PlayStation
like
game, yeah.
a whole like experience. Like I don't even know how to explain it.
Getting cheered against is so fun.
You like that? Zekin's crazy.
No,
The
when we
event in
played-
Istanbul was
When we played
insane.
Fnatic, because Alfier was the only like Turkish representative, and it was so fun just to silence the crowd. At the very first pistol round, they were all chanting Alfier, Alfier, and I right clicked him and he insta died. It was all
Was that
just
Pearl
silent.
on elbow?
Yeah, it was Pearl.
Yeah.
He slid
That was
into
great,
me,
man.
You
died
can hear the
instantly.
crowd just like
Crowd just died.
Dude, I love that clip of Don and he's like shushing the crowd.
Dude, they were so mad. But it's so fun. Just like, even if the energy's not for you, just
Yeah.
the energy being there in general. It makes
Just the
it
reaction.
It was
to
like
everything.
such
a
a
fun
crowd at the end
experience.
that were just like this.
yes. The thing is also a country to country, it's a little different, right? Like in Turkey, the crowd got silent once you guys, maybe shut them down.
Yeah.
But then in Brazil, these guys might start getting like, if a team is beating us, they might start booing them, which I love. What do you guys think of that? Do you guys okay with the crowd booing the other team, or should it just be like, sportsmanship?
I think you can keep it to like a point where it's like a respectable amount. I do think like actively like hating on teams and stuff like that isn't really cool, but definitely like you can cheer for your favorite team.
There's a limit.
There's definitely a limit, I would say.
So recently, unfortunately, as we all know, he's kind of actually been playing this too. Chamber has been nerfed, and not even nerfed, he's been put into the grounds. He's been buried deep, and I don't know if we can retrieve him at this point. Is he viable? Is he done?
Dig deeper.
Maybe on like some maps, but like he's pretty dead.
Dead?
Yeah, I think it definitely could be like a one-off map maybe. Like it can
Fracture.
kind of like I think potentially
It took
you
a
can see
lot.
a map, but like when I have to think that hard about if a character's viable, it's just like no.
He
Yeah.
needed to go there, right? Like
Yeah.
he was creating teams
so
like
boring.
they had a certain style and like you just couldn't avoid it. So
You guys think it's kind of reviving like what the game should be? Because it changed the meta a lot, even just having him the way he was.
Yeah, I think the approach on the game, like, just looking at like the different metas I played in, like I would say double duelist meta was very like fast paced, like kind of like very scrappy, and I think from a viewer standpoint, it will
Love
just be more like fun to watch.
Yes.
I do think Chamber kind of slowed everything down because you have to be more meticulous about like what angles do I
Every
take.
single
Like everything
Yes.
with Chamber is like if you take a bad peek, you're punished. If you peek him, he misses op shot, and he pulls out his pistol, you're still punished. And I think that was kind of like.
And he's a sentinel, by the way.
Yeah, and a
one
sentinel.
of us. That's why he was so OP.
Yeah, them poor sentinels out there, man. Just
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it killed a role
Yeah,
completely.
killed a roll.
So the sentinel role became like something that was just completely
Welcome back, Baby J.
completely
Yeah,
different.
seriously. Welcome back to all the sentinels around the world, because now it's like, we can actually play the game that we know. I mean, Death was like running around in ranked. I noticed him for a bit there. I was running into him on Chamber, and he was like whooping out, busting 30 bombs, like just owning. Like I don't know, it's definitely too busted.
It's unfair, man.
It's unfair, and as a Chamber man, I think I'm happy to see the changes, to be honest.
Yeah.
I
Because
think like even the last grand final that just happened, 100 Thieves in Cloud 9, was
Yeah.
like the last hurrah for Chamber, because like the 50-50 fight between Ye and Cryo, like whoever would win that 1v1, they would like instantly win the round off it. And it's
Yeah.
I feel like the game just shouldn't be like that.
yeah, it's like superheroes.
Man,
Like
yeah, man down in Valorant is so hard to play.
Yeah.
What's the stats? I've seen the stats before.
It's
It's
like 80
Drew,
it's
like,
like
pretty
80%
good
or
at
something.
this. It's like, yeah, we did this like research over scrims for 6 months in Chamber there. If you got first blooded, you have like 15% chance to win the round.
yeah,
Just because of the way utility works and the amount of people. Yeah, Chamber just.
I think it's just like way more punishable in this game because you lose such like a valuable asset and that certain role. Like if you're looking at CS, like you don't really have a role that like everyone can do everything. Whereas like you kill the smokes, you're gonna get
No
you're gonna get
smokes,
picked
man.
off. Like
yeah. No,
That's a cool narrative.
it's gonna be exciting, and I'm looking forward to it because next year is gonna be a different game. And we got the new roster, we got the new land coming up. But apart from that, I appreciate you gentlemen taking the time. We appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.